The Aboriginal Transitions Undergraduate to Graduate Studies project, or at U2G, is a 2-year project. The first year we undertook research where we talked with various Aboriginal graduate students throughout British Columbia to get a sense of what they experienced as they were thinking about graduate studies, applying to particular graduate programs, and we also found out what challenges they experienced when they first entered their graduate program, what successes they also experienced, and also how they might have overcome various barriers that they experienced. An important part of that project was SAGE, which stands for Supporting Aboriginal Graduate Enhancement. SAGE is a provincial peer support and mentoring network. We have pod or group sites throughout British Columbia. We have one at the Lower Mainland at UBC Vancouver and Simon Fraser University, the University of Victoria, another site at UBC Okanagan in Kelowna, and one at the University of Northern British Columbia at Prince George. With the SAGE sites, we interviewed the SAGE participants through focus group sessions. We also sent a graduate survey to students, asking them questions again about what helped them think about graduate programs to which they applied, what helped them get admitted to a program, what barriers they experienced when they first entered the program, who helped them with those barriers, and what successful strategies that they developed and used during their graduate program. So based on all that research then, we developed in year 2 a transitions framework where we had 3 pilots. One pilot was focused on research and research mentorship, and with that pilot we relied on the experiences of Aboriginal graduate students from the research of year 1. We talked with some faculty members who had vast experience with supervising Aboriginal graduate students to learn, what strategies worked for them, what advice they would give to new faculty members interested in supervising graduate students. We also had about 10 undergraduate students engaged in research mentorships where they worked with faculty members on their research projects, and with that pilot we then will develop some advice again to Aboriginal undergraduate students to help them prepare for securing research assistantship, so they understand what type of research skills they could develop, why engaging in such a research assistantship will help them when they undertake graduate studies. The second pilot was SAGE U, or SAGE Undergraduate, where we had 5 pod sites in the province of British Columbia. We had graduate students again develop materials. They were personal stories, videos, information documents, checklists on all kinds of information related to accessing graduate studies, admissions into a program, and an area we call Survive and Thrive in Graduate Studies. So with all these materials, we piloted them at the 5 pod sites. We then received feedback from the undergraduate students attending the pod workshops. We revised the materials and put all of this onto a web portal, which is our 3rd pilot. And with this web portal, it is a multimedia site, and again we are piloting the materials with individuals as they look at the website. We are in process of revising the website based on that feedback. When this project is finished, which will be in May 2010, this web portal will then be available to any university interested in providing workshops to Aboriginal undergraduate students about graduate studies. We would then hope universities would pilot these materials or use them on an ongoing basis, and they can establish an undergraduate initiative such as Sage U, or they could take the materials and offer workshops 2 or 3 times a year to Aboriginal undergraduate students.